All right, well, let's get started on your mat. We will sit in a way that works for you with a tall spine, whatever that might look like for you. Yeah, go ahead and sit with a tall spine, legs can cross, or you can kneel, or you can sit on a block or a bolster, anything that allows you to just rise up as tall as possible. Your eyes can close if that's comfortable for you. Hands fall wherever they fall. And we'll just take these first few moments to breathe. The inhale flows in through your nose. The exhale empties you out. See if you can sort of establish your own rhythm of the breath. Let the inhale and the exhale match each other. One is not longer or shorter than the other. And then see if you can make it just a bit bigger, letting in a little more breath on the inhale and empty out just a bit more on the exhale. So this breath becomes really soothing for your nervous system. It becomes very soothing in that like rhythmic, steady, dependable kind of way. And then throughout class, when in doubt, just come back to your breath. In and out. Let it be there for you. You can bring your hands to your heart, and I invite you to set an intention for your practice today, which is any word or phrase, your own kind of reminder to yourself. Why are you here? What brings you to the mat? What do you want from this 45 minutes? And then when you're ready, let the eyes blink open and the arms stretch up tall. Shrug your shoulders tight and tense up your ears, and then drop them back down. Let the right hand find the ground, left hand reaches up and over. Open up into that stretch, kind of pull the top shoulder back gently. Maybe look to your top hand. And then rise up nice and tall, fingers sparked wide awake. Take it to the other side, left hand goes down, right hand reaches up and over. I always invite you to wiggle around in your yoga. Just kind of feel your way into your body. What needs to stretch? What needs to move? Good. Come all the way back up, and then we'll take a twist. Right hand goes back, left hand across the front, and look back behind you. Sit up a little taller into that twist, and then maybe wring yourself out a little deeper. Come back to center, reach high, and then twist it out the other way. Rise back up to the center, reach tall. Take your arms back behind you, fingertips to the ground, lean back into it, open your chest, your throat, drop your head back. And then rise back up, reach for the sky. Forward fold, rounding your spine in the opposite direction. You could drop all the way deep down over your legs, or just drop your chin to your chest, or anything in between. Rise back up, and let's come over to all fours. So bringing your hands to the mat, about shoulder width apart, knees are under your hips. Follow your breath and let that tell you when to move. On an inhale, you look up for cow pose. On an exhale, you round in the opposite direction, chin to chest, cat pose. So you know when to go in and out, back and forth. We'll take about 3 more rounds of this. One more time, really exaggerating the movement, warming up the spine as much as you can. Great, and then come back to a neutral, flat spine. Tuck your toes under, press your hips back towards your heels, and then hover your knees just an inch or so off the ground. So you're in this deep crouch. Look forward, push your hands forward so your arms are super active, and then rise into down dog by straightening through the legs. Let's try that again. I love that for the upper body stretch that it helps you find. So crouch down, hips to heels, toes are tucked under. Lift those knees just a bit. Push forward and down through your hands, so strong. Keeping your chest as close to your thighs as you can, straighten your legs. And then we'll take a few moments in down dog. Wiggle around. Pedal the feet. Maybe rock back and forth. Checking in with your down dog. Keep in mind, hands are shoulder width apart, feet are hips width apart. Knees can stay bent and soft a little bit. If that helps you to lengthen through the spine, go ahead and let those knees be bent. If your priority is a little more stretch into the backs of the legs today, then work the legs a little bit straighter. Drop the heels toward the ground. Take one more breath here. And then walk your hands all the way back to your feet at the back of the mat. Hang down over your legs, drop your head heavy, grab opposite elbows. Sway side to side. Breathe like you're sending that breath deep down into your hips. That's not really the way it works, but you can imagine that. And then release your hands down. Let's take a twist. So the right hand goes to the left ankle. The left hand reaches for the sky. Excuse my necklace here, hanging out. And then come back down through the center and switch sides. Take your left hand to your right ankle, and the right hand reaches up to the ceiling. Coming back down to center. Tuck your chin to chest and round all the way up to standing. Take your time with it. At the top, reach out and up. Look up to your hands for that nice big stretch. And then bring your hands to your heart. Take a big breath here at the back of the mat. In and out. We'll do some half sun salutations just to get moving and to really sink into that rhythm of your breath. So inhale to reach tall. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach for the sky. Exhale, dive right back down the middle. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach for the sky. One more time, exhale, forward fold right down the middle. Inhale, halfway lift and fold. Stand up tall, reach up. This time, forward fold all the way down the middle, and then walk your hands up to the top of the mat. Find your down dog shape. Hold here about 5 breaths or so. Option is always there to drop the knees, take a stretch into a child's pose. And then look forward and tiptoe up to the top of the mat with straight legs, forward folding in half. When you reach the top, halfway lift, flat back. Fold in half. Inhale to rise up, reach for the sky, look up. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. From here, we'll move into the full sun salutations. So again, we inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold right down the middle. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands to the ground, feet step back. High plank, down to chaturanga. Tip forward, bend the elbows. Don't go too low. Inhale, straightening the arms, lifting the chest, up dog. Exhale, press up and back to down dog. And breathe. 3 more breaths here. Smooth and steady. On this last exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or hop your feet up to your hands, halfway lift, and then fold in half. Stand all the way up, reach tall. Let's dive right back down the center. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands press down, feet step or float back, moving from that high plank down to low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, pull your chest forward. And exhale, press up and back. 5 breaths here. Last big inhale. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Inhale, feet to hands, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rise to standing, reach up. One last sun A, forward fold, right down the middle. Halfway lift. Hands press down, feet step or float back down to chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths again in down dog. You can enjoy the stillness. You can drop into child's pose. You could fire it up if you want to build some heat. Maybe take a fire float or 5. Honor what you need. What's going on for you today? What's your intention in this practice? Beautiful. I like seeing all these different options at home. On your 5th exhale, bend your knees, look forward. As you inhale, move to the top of the mat, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Stand up tall, reach for the sky. And then bring hands to your heart, stand tall and pause here. Take a moment checking in with yourself. Feel your heart beating in there. Feel your breath. Maybe the rhythm of the breath, the pace has sped up a little bit perhaps. There's some heat building in the body. Good, one more breath here. And then let's move into chair pose. So big toes touch, knees squeeze together, and you sit into your chair. Your chair does not have to be like a super low chair. It could be a bar stool chair. Arms reach out, and then imagine your palms are magnetized towards one another. They want to touch, but not at the expense of stress and crazed shoulders. So drop the shoulders on your back. Jaw falls loose and open. Keep some softness. You got it. Looks beautiful. One more breath here. And then forward fold. Take your feet hips width apart. Grab a hold of your big toes with your first 2 fingers. Inhale, looking forward, lengthening the spine and the legs. And then hinge from the hips. Pull into this forward fold. Your arms can be really strong and active here. You're pulling, elbows out wide, east to west, chest moving down towards the shins. And you can play a little bit with rocking the weight forward into the ball of each foot. Good. One more breath there. Then release your toes. Inhale to halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands down, feet back. Find your way to down dog. You can flow through the pattern, or you can just step back to down dog. And then we meet here. Everybody lift your right leg up to the sky as high up into the air as it'll go, and then bend your knee. Let your heel drop back towards your bottom, your hips kind of stretching open through the right side. Notice your shoulders, is one popping up higher than the other. Keep them both pointed at the mat. Breathe here. Then take that right foot and step it forward outside of the right hand. into a high lizard lunge so the back knee stays lifted. Rock forward and back a little bit. Sink through the hip. And then lower the left knee down, untuck those toes in the back. Let's take a few cat-cows here, which is a little weird, but stick with me. Inhale, look up, press your belly forward, your heart forward. And then exhale, dome your back, tuck your chin to your chest. Again, inhale, look forward. Round it out in the opposite direction. One more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Really feel like that helps loosen up my shoulders and all that tension that seems to be living in them. Let's go ahead and take a twist. Left hand stays down, right hand open up to the ceiling. Breathe your whole rib cage into that twist. Spiral through your spine. And then take your right hand, reach it straight back behind you. Look back over your right shoulder. Bend that back leg. See if you can grab a hold of your foot. Woo. And if your thighs are tight, you'll feel plenty of stretch. Keep letting the hips drop forward and down. The heel is moving in towards your bottom. Don't overdo it. You want to make sure you walk away from class. One more breath here. And then unwind, bring both hands back down. Tuck the back toes under, step to your high plank. Take a great big breath here. Make a choice, either chaturanga or press up and back to down dog. And then we meet in down dog, big breath in. Huge exhale out. Left foot reaches for the sky. Take it high up and then bend the knee. And then just stay with the stretch here. Knees lifting high, shoulders pointing at the ground. Last big breath. Step your left foot outside of your left hand towards the top of the mat. Take a few rocks forward and back. Sink into the hips. And then lower the right knee down, untuck the right toes. Take 3 cat-cow sets here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round in the opposite direction. Push the ground away. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to neutral. Keep the right hand down. The left hand reaches for the sky for that twist. Take the left hand straight back behind you. Look back at it. Maybe that back leg can bend and you find your right foot. Hips sinking forward. Breathe with it. If you can sink your hips forward, it'll help you get right off of the kneecap, right? You can rock forward so you're more in the fleshy area above the kneecap, which might be a little more comfortable. Good. Release that. Hands come back down to the mat. Step back to your high plank. Big, huge breath here. Find your down dog. Breathe here, 5 breaths, or drop the knees and take your child's pose. Check in with yourself wherever you are for these breaths. Notice how you're doing. How is the body? How's your mind? How are you today? And then bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop feet to hands, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, stand up, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Right away again, big toes touch, sit down, chair pose. Try to neutralize your spine here. So we don't want to stick the butt out too far. We don't want to tuck it under too far. Find that middle ground. It should feel like some core work is happening because your abs are in fact doing work. Good, 2 more breaths. Can you wiggle your toes and your fingers? And then forward fold on an exhale. Nice. Actually, take your feet hips width apart again. Let's do that stretch. Take the hands all the way under the feet this time if you like a little more depth. Toes are at the wrists. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, pull yourself deep down into it. Breathe. Good. Some of you might want to try bending your knees. If you give them that little tiny bit of micro bend, notice how it changes things. It allows the pelvis to shift differently. The low back might feel a little more stretch. Nice. Looks good out there. Release your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, palms press down to the mat, feet step or float back. Find your way to down dog. In down dog, give it a huge breath in. Open mouth exhale this time. Letting go of a little bit of heat. Again, inhale. Empty that all out. Good. Right leg reaches up and back behind you. Bend the knee just for a moment this time, feeling the stretch. And then step it forward, this time inside of the hands at the top of the mat. Rise up for a high lunge. Reach to the sky. Good. Settle into the legs here. Really commit to their strength. And then spin open into a warrior two. Root down into your feet. They are strong. Your legs are strong. They'll hold you. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, reach long. And then rise up, extended side angle, arm to thigh. Left hand is going up and over. If you'd like, you can drop the right hand down to the mat or the floor or a block. Good. If you want more, there's always the half bind. That's top hand reaching around your back. Full bind is the right hand going from the front to the back of your thigh, finding your hands behind you, maybe. Some days yes, some days no. Good. One more breath wherever you are, and then unwind kind of in reverse order, and we meet back in a warrior two. Nice and clean. Good. Big breath in. Big breath out. Flip the palm, reverse warrior, take it back. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down, take it all the way back to down dog, with or without this chaturanga. Big breath in. Exhale out. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot reaches up high to the sky. Take a moment, let it bend the knee open. And then step the left foot forward in between your hands. High lunge to start. And then spiral it open into a warrior two. That back heel spinning down. Strong bend in the front leg. Make the back leg show up and do some work too, though. That foot is pressing down, thigh is engaged. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach back. Good. And then notice all that space in the side of your ribs. Try to keep that as you rise up and move to your extended side angle. So your left arm can again rest on the thigh or drop your hand down low. Right arm is going up and over. Good. Yeah, your half bind is top hand wrapping around the low back. Full bind would be taking the left hand to find the right fingers back there. Good. Make sure you're still breathing. Very important. Nice. Unwind yourself with just as much care as you went into it, right? So reverse order, rise back up, warrior two. Nice. Flip your palm, reverse warrior, reach back. And then exhale, hands down to the ground, all the way home to down dog. Good. 2 big breaths in your down dog. And then bend your knees as you exhale, look forward. Inhale, float or step feet to hands. Halfway lift at the top of the mat. Feel that stretch. Exhale, fold from your hips. Good. Stand all the way up, reach to the sky. And exhale your hands to your heart. Beautiful work, everybody. Take a moment, check in. And then let's do some balancing that will help also get into the hips and stretch a bit. So start with feet hips width apart, totally parallel. So toes pointing forward, sides of the feet are running parallel to the long edges of the mat. Take a tiny micro bend in the knees. It's just enough so that they're not hyperextended. Lift your core strong and then reach the arms for the sky. Heels rise up. So we're balancing right there. Nothing overly fancy about this, but there's plenty of things happening. Are you breathing those same soothing in and out breaths? Can you find some softness here? Shoulders dropped down your back, jaw loose. And you can play with your drishti, which is your gaze. It can either be locked on one thing or one spot in front of you, or adding some challenge, you can close your eyes, taking away the sense of sight, which is directly linked to balance. Yeah. Good. Let's take 3 more breaths wherever you are. Yeah, and if you wiggle out, then just come back in. Good. Makes you really appreciate your sense of sight, right? Come on down when you're ready. Shake that off. And then let's take all your weight into the left leg. Hug the right knee up to your chest. And then we'll take it as a camper's pose today. So we turn the right leg kind of sideways and lay the ankle just above the left knee. Right foot is flexed. Hands come to the heart. And this right knee is kind of working down and back open. Then you start to bend into your left leg and sit down like you're sitting in your chair. Leaning your chest forward, you might feel your right hip and glute talking to you a little bit. You can keep bending your standing leg. You can drop your arms down so they lay right across your shin. And once again, make sure you're still breathing. And your shoulders enjoy this. Relax them down. And you keep your neck and your throat long, jaw soft. Again, with just as much care as you made your way down here, try to take yourself out in reverse order. Really lovely. Everybody shake that off. Let's do the other side. Stand strong on your right leg, or the one you didn't do before. Hug your left knee to your chest. Turn it into that figure 4 shape. Foot is flexed. Stand tall. Hands to the heart. Sink yourself down and in. Hips pressing back. Breathe. 3 more smooth, steady breaths. And then let's come back up. Standing tall, feet pressed to the ground. Tadasana. Big breath in and out. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms up, reach up for the sky. Exhale, forward fold right down the middle. Inhale, half lift. Hands go down, feet go back. Meet in down dog. However you'd like to get there is perfect. Everybody breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. Right leg reaches up and back. Bend the knee for a moment. Feel the hips. And then step the right foot forward in between your hands. This time, rise right into your warrior 2. and sink in. Good. Revisiting some of the stuff we touched on earlier. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior, reach back. And then rise up, extended side angle. Once again, we'll take about 5 breaths here. So go ahead, play with your options. If that full bind is happening for you, hands found each other back behind you, then maybe you step the back foot forward. And with as much balance and control as you can find, you can work to stand all the way up. Depending on how your hamstrings are feeling after some of that stretching and stuff we've been doing, that right leg can even straighten all the way out. Some days, yes, some days, no. It's really nice playing, everybody. Come back to warrior 2 when you're ready. Big breath here. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior, take it back. Good, and then cartwheel the hands down all the way home to down dog. Breathe in. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot reaches high and then bend your knee. And step the left foot forward. Warrior 2. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Rise back up, extended side angle. I'll keep my back to you so you see what I'm talking about with the bind this time, if this is new to you. The half bind is the top hand around your low back. The full bind is bottom hand dropping down and then reaching back and finding the other hand. If you're real warmed up or into this, you might even grab onto your wrist, taking that bind even deeper. You can step the back foot forward and find your way up to Bird of Paradise if you like. A couple more breaths, just playing. Don't take it too seriously. It's just yoga. When you're ready, we'll meet back in warrior 2. Big breath. Flip your palms, reverse your warrior, and then flow your way back to down dog. Nice. Everybody lower your knees. Let's drop into a wide-legged child's pose. So wide knees towards the edges of the mat, big toes touching, hips to heels, forehead down towards the ground. Good. Let the arms stretch out long in front of you. And just check in. Notice, how are you? Notice how it feels for you to take this time and just move your body and exist in this very present, physical way. It's sort of like hitting the reset button, for me at least. Against everything else out there in the world, coming to the mat, moving around, like a fresh start each time. All right, as you're ready, stretch your arms out long in front of you, rise back up, down dog once again. Huge breath in, huge breath out. Take your right leg up to the sky, again, as high up there as it'll go. Bend your knee. This time we'll play with that. Bend your knee and draw big circles with your knee. So we're moving around in the hip joint. It's pretty warmed up from all the stuff we've been doing. And then step it forward to the top of your mat for a pigeon. So you'll lay your right shin down across the front edge of your mat. Lift your chest up tall here so that you kind of use gravity to help you sink down into your hips. If you're floating above the ground, a block or a book or a blanket or a pillow or something underneath your hips can be really nice. And then forward fold. If it works for you, resting your head on something, again, is a nice option. It just allows you to sink in a little bit heavier, making sure your neck isn't holding up the weight. You can soften through the shoulders, down into your hips. And everything just gets to be still here. We'll take about 5 more nice and slow, steady breaths. All right, from that half pigeon, lift your chest up. If you had a block or something, pull it out of the way, and then sit onto the right hip and swing the left leg around. This has been one of my favorite transitions lately. Cross your left leg over the top of your right. So you're working towards knee over knee, feet flexed. Good. Hips working to connect equally down into the mat, if possible. And then take both arms high to the sky. Drop your right hand behind your head. Left hand grabs that right elbow. And notice how I drop my head. Don't do that. Keep the crown of your head high. Maybe push the head into the arms a bit. And pull the right elbow in towards the center line. Stretching the shoulders and the torso. Simultaneously stretching the hips and the legs. Good. Go ahead and release that. Wiggle out the shoulders a little bit. Moving back towards down dog. You can just kind of cross the ankles and roll right over. Step back, high plank to low plank. Inhale, up dog. And exhale to down dog. Breathe for a moment, reset. Then take your left leg high to the sky. Find that bend so you open through the front of your hip. Draw your big circles with your knee. And then as you're ready, make it into half pigeon. The left foot coming forward, shin lying down across the front edge of the mat. Lift your chest tall, sink down into those hips. And forward fold. Allow yourself to relax. Notice how you are doing. Check in with yourself. Three more big breaths here. Soften a little more if you can. And then again, lift your chest. Sit off this time to the left hip. Swing the right leg around. Stack knee over knee. Connect both sides of your bottom down into the ground. Reach high. Left hand drops behind your head this time. Right hand gives that elbow a little tug in towards the center line. Try not to cave in your spine, but instead sit up really tall. Release your arms. Untangle your legs. Bring your hands behind you, feet to the ground this time. Reverse tabletop. Lift your hips up. Your head can drop back if you like, or just look to the sky. Breathe for 5, 4, push the ground away. 3, 2. I love this stretch in the front of my shoulders. Whew. And then have a seat. Drop your hips down. Good. Straighten your legs out front. Reach up tall. Forward fold over your legs. On an inhale, rise back up. Make sure you've got space back there behind you. Reach your arms forward and lie yourself all the way down. Hug your right knee into your chest. Give it a nice squeeze. And then cross it over your body to twist. Let it fall to the floor. Let your right arm extend out. If you're punching the wall, you can bend your elbow. Just take a breath in the twist. And come back to center. Switch legs. Hug the left, straighten the right. Cross it over on a twist. And look over to your left hand. Come back to center. Hug that left knee. Hug the right knee in to meet it. So you're giving both shins a nice squeeze. Lift your head, curl into a little ball for just a moment. Everything's tight and tense. And then exhale, everything releases out. Give yourself permission to lie back. Be still. Take up space. Back to your natural rhythm of your breath, in and out. Taking this time to tune into yourself, kind of a reminder of just how wise your body is. It knows how to breathe. It knows how to do the things you need it to do. Sometimes we just have to slow down and let it do its thing. Trusting that deep wisdom inside applies off the mat, applies all over in your life, right? You've got the knowledge, you know how to do it. You just have to listen and trust yourself. We'll take about 5 more breaths here. And then start to deepen the breath a bit. Invite some movement back, wiggling fingers, toes. Your head can rock from side to side. On an inhale, take a big full body stretch, arms up over your head, and then turn over onto one side. In this last moment of class, I always invite you to tell yourself thank you. Recognizing what a gift it is to give yourself this time. And then when you're ready, rise back up to seated. Eyes can close if you like. Hands find your heart. And we'll take 3 breaths together. We inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bowing forward. We honor this practice of yoga for all it has to teach us. Mind, body, spirit on the mat and off. Thank you all so much. As always, I love teaching yoga. Thank you for joining.